Some of you may be thinking and watching this video for the very first time, or seeing me for the very first time going, what is that crazy hair? What is he going on about? Well, let me break things down for you. Welcome to Mark Talks Football. This is the Royals Roundtable. And today, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we're going to go into a deep dive, in my personal opinion, about if there is really a Noel Hunt versus the ownership battle. Whether Rob Couhig is, as my great nan used to say, give you enough rope to hang yourself. Or is Noel Hunt digging himself a bigger hole with the certain things that he's doing? In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down Noel Hunt's tactics and what I think from that and what I've seen so far this season. We will be previewing, the Barnsley game that's coming up. And I'm going to give my final thoughts on the overall feeling about the club and where I see it going over the next month. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like and hit some subscribe because we're about to get into this. Thank you ever so much. I was looking at my phone just to get all the stats and everything that I'm going to need up and ready to go for you. But let's go into the first topic, and that's going to be previewing Barnsley that we got coming up for you on Saturday. 3 o'clock kickoff away from home, and Conor Hourihane, who is the manager of Barnsley. And here is some of the stats or some of the things that I've come up with to go. They've got a main striker, David McGoldrick, Mark Roberts supporting a young captain in Luca O'Connell. The way that they're playing is proactive, take the initiative, and Hourihane preferences for a team that controls the ball and maintains momentum. Their squad described as a young, ambitious, with the aim of developing players and creating an environment for success through strong leadership. These are just some of the things that I have looked around, found, and I've sort of broken down into my personal opinion about Barnsley so far. They've had a positive start so far. Currently sat at this precise moment, they sit sixth in the table with 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, with a goal plus 13 points, which they have a goal difference of +4, scored 11, conceded 7 so far this season. They have played the teams of Plymouth Argyle, beaten them 3-1 with a red card that they had. They then beat Burton 3-2 in the first round of the EFL Cup. They beat Fleetwood on penalties 5-4, drew with Bolton, beat Peterborough, lost to Wimbledon, beat Rotherham in the Cup, and recently beaten Huddersfield 3-1 with Killian Dunn getting 2 goals with Luke O'Connell. And then Taylor getting the goal for Huddersfield. Looking at the statistics as well, Barnsley come away with 63% possession. They had nearly double the amount of passes that Huddersfield had, 502 passes compared to their 297. A pass accuracy of 84% compared to Huddersfield's 75. They committed less fouls, got less yellow cards, and Huddersfield come away with a red card. But Huddersfield did come away with more corners from that game. So when you look at this in total, you would say, I'm going to say Barnsley are favourites for this game. Barnsley have a progressive way of playing football. I have watched them. Conor Hourihane was there in the last game of the season where we lost to Barnsley in our last game, which was Rob Couhig's first non-official game as owner, where he the deal was basically done. For him to take over. So he was around. And that was one of the times that you could tell that Conor Hourihane is very much the product of what football is today. That is very much keep control of the ball, keep a front foot on there, make sure that you control possession, and make sure that you make the opposition really hard for you to be beaten down from. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Barnsley do this season. They've got a good squad, good young team, and Barnsley need to find a way of breaking that barrier from the League One Championship area, and they need to make sure that they can stop the relegation battles and stick with what they've got, progress with what they're doing moving forward, and keep that going. I think they could go in for a superb season, and it's going to be very, very hard for Reading to break them down, especially with the type of play that we're playing. With the counter attack, could be a lot easier with us with Danny Kaye and Paddy Lane. We got Jack Marriott, I presume, is going to start up top as well, who could potentially hold up the play, hold the ball up, lay it off for the wingers, and then get into the box for himself. Midfield's going to speak for itself. It's going to probably be Ben Elliott, Lewis Wing, Savage. In the midfield department is there as well. Maybe Fraser instead of Elliott, because Elliott's hasn't had a great couple of games. And then you've got the defence. Where do you go with the defence? You keep with Ahmed in right back position. Then you've got the two centre back positions, Burns, maybe Podri O'Connor's back. We're not really sure of how long we've got left with him on the sidelines. You've also got Daz Williams, who's been absolutely superb since his signing. He will most probably be starting on left back. We've got Jacob as well, who needs to be doing better with stopping the crosses from coming in, but he is very good at going forward and giving that extra depth going forward. So that he's very, very much a man I'm looking for. And also Joel Pereira in the net. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a test. We haven't had the best start of the season. We haven't had the best way of things of going for us so far. The one thing I can say is we have a squad that can mid-table. And this is where it comes into the next topic. And this is a topic that I've seen a lot online. And this is why I've brought it here. And I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below as well. Is Rob Couhig setting up Noel Hunt? Is Joel Jacobson setting up Noel Hunt? Is Todd setting up Noel Hunt? Because if you think about it, I'm going to give two. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you two perspectives. I'm then going to leave it. I'm going to let you guys think about it, and then I'm going to give my perspective at the end of what I think and what I see and what I believe. And it will be different to what you guys probably will think. And that's fine. We all have differences of opinion. It's better to have that. And if everyone thought the same, nothing would get done. So I'm not going there. So here's one side. I'm going to go with the perspective of they are setting up Noel Hunt for the first perspective. Because technically, he's not the ownership's manager. That's the previous ownership's manager. He's not a Rob Couhig guy. An owner always likes to put his stamp on his progression of the way that he plays, of what he sets his sights on for the future of the football. You look at what he's done before with Wickham, right? Gareth Ainsworth, counter-attacking long ball football, which worked. Didn't work in the Championship for much long, but it worked for that style. What is the identity of Reading Football Club? Now, that's a question that has to be streamlined. We've talked a lot about AI over the last summer, about how they're using that for not only in-stadium activity, but they're using it for the transfers, for scouting, for players. Now, the way that you can use this as it is working against Noel Hunt is if you look at the players that they've signed, you would probably say 3 of them were Noel Hunt guys. Podri O'Connor, definitely one of them. You can most probably say Jack Marriott is another one. We were linked with Gareth McCleary. That would have been another one of Noel Hunt. So there are players around that is a Noel Hunt guy, but then they mixed it with these AI-generated type where they've got an algorithm going on behind the scenes of trying to pick up the best players for the best system for the best way to do things. You still need the eyeball test as well to make sure it looks great for you when you put them into your team. But have they streamlined this AI for much further ahead than Noel Hunt's abilities? And have they given him a backroom staff to make him actually be able to push forward? Let's look at the backroom staff. Scott Marshall, never really done it in the big time, only been an under-21s manager, now come back again to be the first team assistant manager. Mikael Ledgerwood, really good youth academy player, lovely bloke. I still have him as my background on my phone because I took a picture with him. Absolutely wonderful man. But is he the right man to get the best out of these players? Is there more experienced coaches, players, managers out there that could have helped Noel Hunt push him on for another further? Let's think about this from the same perspective as well. Brian McDermott was also a man that's been around. Why wasn't this in a little conversation for it? You know what I mean? It's very much one of those where are they really setting him up? Now let's flip it. Okay. Let's flip it to the other side. If I'm not saying I am or I'm not, the poor choice of words there. But if you look at it from the other point, what they're doing is they're going, right, no, we're going to give you some of these players that can compete for now. But what we're also going to do, we're going to give you players as well that can compete for the next 2 to 3 years. We're also going to give you experienced players like Matt Ritchie, Jack Marriott to be able to help, and Daz Williams to help with the balance between the defence and the midfield and the forwards. So you've got a bit of a balance going on there. That's one way that you could look at it. What that you can also say is they're helping Noel Hunt by giving him the people that he wants. Mikael Ledgerwood, you've got Scott Marshall there, along with others as well. The under-21s goalkeeper coach is now the main goalkeeping coach for it. So you've got a plan. You've got the Noel Hunt style of football, which is very much, we'll discuss that a little bit further in a moment, where it is a mixture between playing out from the back but going long as well at the same time. There's not a very clear identity. So that's one of the stumbling blocks that I feel like that Noel Hunt's in, is there's no massively clear identity to how he wants to play. But if you look at it from that perspective, then there's positions for players in what he's looking to have. So he wants an athletic wing backs, and he wants a strong, can play with his feet, centre backs. Midfield, you've got someone that's got the stamina to run back and forth. Wingers have to have pace, have to run at defenders, and then you need a striker who can hold up the ball and maybe lay it off or go for goal and shoot at any instinct. Sam Smith, for example. So you're in the perspective now where you've got two sides. They've also planning for the future for him, but are they? Are they planning for him? Are they doing this AI generated stuff to not only deal with the situation that they've got right now, but are they doing it for managers for the future? They're looking at those managers, they're looking at the style of play. Have they really set an identity for the transfers for it to go forward? The reason why I say that is if you look at the 12 summer signings that we had, there is no clear identity behind them for the style of play we're playing. You've got one very young centre back in Finn Burns, who I like, but has got a long way to go. Padraig O'Connor, good centre back, reliable, injured. Daz Williams, unreliable, according to some fans, looking reliable. You've got Ahmed, who's just come out of nowhere and cemented himself as the mainstay right back. Jacob has got to nail this down with the defensive attributes as long as going forward. Lewis Wing needs to find a way of using the captaincy to his advantage. He hasn't been doing that. And I will be critical of him as well. When I've watched him on that pitch, he talks to Joel Pereira, but he complains to everyone else. He needs to find this balance of bollocking someone, but putting an arm around them as well at the same time. The arm round I haven't seen yet, and this is what I need to be seeing more. Charlie Savage needs to be seen a lot more from him with his passing and his forward movements and his forward passing as well. Ben Elliott, he's gifted, talented man on the ball, but he needs to be finding that consistency. And then you've also got the wingers. Paddy Lane, you could talk about, is absolutely superb with that left peg. Danny Kay, pace, acceleration, can get in behind, but they're both lacking that final finish. Paddy Lane had it, but it was very rare that man let fly. With the striking ability as well, with the way that Noel Hunt wants them to be, they need to be tall, they need to be strong, they need to be holding the ball when it comes to them. Have they got that? Was that a target that they went for? Was it a realistic option for them to get? So let's talk about that in a minute. Let's get to my final decision on that. I'm going to let you guys think about that. Now, let's get to my final thoughts on Noel Hunt's tactics. And I will then lead that into my final decision of overall and who I think will come out on top on this. Noel Hunt's tactics are so inconsistent that I worry. I like him as a bloke. Love him. I think he's one of the nicest human beings I've met. But his tactics are inconsistent, which means I'm being respectful when I criticize someone. I'm not saying they're shit, they're dickhead, nothing like that. Just being respectful. And I'm going to give you an example why. You look at the team we're going up against Saturday. Clear identity. Passing out from the back, passing it around, bitting the ball forward, can score goals, can concede, but able to push the ball forward and get their goal. A lot of experience with a lot of youth, a little bit of a way that the League One teams are going now, aiming for really young players, but sprinkle in a couple of old boys, OGs, to in there to help them develop and push them forward, but also show them the right way of how to be professionals. But then you look at the tactics that Noel Hunt's doing. There is from back to front not a clear identity. You've got the wing backs bombing forward, but you haven't got that defensive midfield possession being able to slot in between. So if you're going to go with the 4-3-3, which he likes to do, when you go forward with wing backs, you need your central defensive midfielder to slot in between the centre backs. And what they need to do is when they slot in is don't waver. Look at Rodri. Look at the best like Sergio Busquets. He will sit in that central defensive midfield position, stop the play, but easily be able to do 1-2 passing moving forward. Same with Rodri. Lewis Wing can't do that. Lewis Wing wants to go forward. Lewis Wing wants to get that ball and use it as what we've described, and I think it's the best description you can put that as a quarterback role inside of this Reading area. You give him the ball and you let the ping or the throw of the arm like Tom Brady, like a Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. Yes, I'm just naming quarterbacks now to prove that I actually watch the NFL. Jalen Daniels, just not Miami. Fucking horrible that is. That will be a rant for Sunday. But yes, it's very talking about rants. That Ange Postecoglou, Nuno Espirito Santo Sunday, as well. That will be talked about. But it's one of those situations where they're the quarterback role, but then you're then leaving out Ben Elliott to be able to do the 1-2 passing with the wingers, with Paddy Lane to get a connection with them, with Ahmed. You'll be able to do a partnership with Lewis Wing and Charlie Savage to set up that connection. But what you're doing is you're disconnecting the play. You're breaking things up where it doesn't need to be broken up. You're doing the long ball to try and get it forward. But to who fucking who? There's never no one there. If you're going to do the quarterback role, you need him to be in the left back position or the right back position to spring it across, to switch the play, diagonal it. That's what you've got to do, not in the central defensive midfield position, and then try and do it because there's not going to be anyone in the positions to do it. And then you talk about the wingers. The wingers want to get at the defenders, want to go out and want to get in. There's never no one in the fucking box. This would be a prime example for Charlie Savage or Ben Elliott to swap between each other. Who's going to make that run into the box to help the other winger, to help the striker? Maybe they both go into the box with the defensive midfielder on the edge of it. The right back slotting in inside with the centre defensive midfielder. So you've still got the protection in front of the defenders. There's none of that. There seems to be, when they get past the halfway line, a big of, he's gone. And I know he hasn't, but this is what it looks like on the pitch. He's gone, beat yourself. Make it up as you go along. Make it up as you feel like that this was the right way to go. You know? And that's not a way that you do with tactics. Everyone has a clear identity. Oliver Glasner has it. You have Pep Guardiola, Arne Slot, Mikel Arteta. We're going into the Championship. Ruben Sellers has a clear identity. Not work at the moment, but it should work in the future. And then you've got Leicester getting their new manager because he's got a clear identity of how to move things and what he did for QPR before. Frank Lampard has a clear identity of how to do things. It needs to be nailing down, and during this international break, it has to be nailed down to exactly what they're going to do. And in my final thoughts, I think that the Rob Couhig have walked into a situation where they think that they were able to turn this in a way around in a season. They've then found it worse than what they've already done. They then overpromised and underdelivered. Is it their problem? To a certain extent, yes. But the performances on the pitch, all down to Noel Hunt. If we're going to see this trend of the way Noel Hunt's playing, I don't see him last until the end of September. If he can adapt, change, and finesse the final details, he'll be here till the end of the season. I think you're going to look at this in one or two ways, right? Rob Couhig will want his own man. If Noel Hunt underperforms, he's going to be gone quicker. If he over delivers, he's going to stay until there's a respectable time for Rob to go, see you later. Because he will want his own man. And then what they will then do, this is a classic American business, is they're overhyped, really selling home, really going at it like what they did during the summer. And I'm happy that they did. Okay, I'm not one that's going to go. They fuck this, fuck them, fuck this, fucking all of them. To me, I love my football club, but for me, the most important thing for me, seeing my daughter's face of when we watch Reddit, and seeing the joy that she has watching the games, going to games, talking with people. We go to the band before the games if we get there early. We have conversations with people. And then we have a little father-daughter time. We drive together. We have a little chat on the way home, on the way there. For me, that's more important for me. But I also understand for you. Now, to summarize all of this up, do I think Rob Couhig is giving enough rope for Noel Hunt to hang himself? No, I don't. Yes and no. I'm going to go 70% yes, because I don't think he's done it really, but at the same time, I think that he's maybe consciously done it. And I think that the things haven't worked out well enough than what they were expecting. As I said, when we did the transfer window roundup for Reading, I said that this was a 6-7 out of 10. If they brought a big fucking striker in, like a Connor Wickham, not that you're going to bring Connor Wickham in because the man is injured every 5 minutes. But if you're going to bring in a big striker in, then you can see the fan base or what they were saying. You've then looked at it, you found the potential, the right man for it, and you've done it. Then I've got a fucking hair that's just gone into my, there it is, you little bitch. That is gone. Then you've then given everything to Noel Hunt for him to fuck up. I don't think he's intentionally done it, but I think he's done it. But now it's down to Noel Hunt, and I think he's got to the end of this month to save his job, or he will be gone. And I think there's a certain Sheffield United manager who may get the call. But also, I think we could go abroad. I don't know why. I just have a feeling it could be an American. Could be wrong. We will find out. Right. We are going to end the episode there. It's been a very much in-depth today to really talk about Barnsley, previewing that. Is this really going to be the end? But when we come back Sunday, we will be reviewing the Barnsley game. I will not be going to it. I will see the highlights. I will see the reactions. And then that's how I will judge it. And then we will build up to the next game. I don't even know when the next game is. Let's have a look at September. Okay, before we leave, let's have a look at September. And let's see how many wins I think and whether I think it... Because fucking... Where's the app, you prick? Whether how things are going to go. Okay, right. We got the family day coming up. So we've got Barnsley coming up for you. Then we got Leyton Orient at home coming for you. And then we then have Wrexham away in the Cup, Stockport away in the league, and then West Ham under-21s finishing off with it in the October, going up against Mansfield in the league with that. So I would say Leyton Orient's going to be very tough. But we should be okay. Barnsley, I think we're going to struggle. I think we're going to lose that. Wrexham, you never know. Stockport, we should lose that because they've got a far superior side than what we have. So next episode, we're going to be reviewing Barnsley. We're going to be talking a little bit about the weekend action, about my review of that. And we're also on the Sunday show, we're going to be talking about Ange Postecoglou going to Nottingham Forest after the Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked from Nottingham Forest. We will do NFL predictions, how we were doing for week 2 and week 3, part of week 3, and we will be discussing any other sport. Women's Rugby World Cup, the women are into the quarterfinals. We will be discussing that as the match is happening on Saturday for the Sunday show. So make sure, if you haven't already, to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon.